We know the mechanical energy. Mechanical energy means mechanical energy. The energy possessed by the body because of its motion or by virtue of its motion due to shape of the body or due to position of the body, whatever the energy possessed, they all are called as the mechanical energy. The energy possessed by the body by virtue of its motion, that is called, of course, kinetic energy, mechanical kinetic energy, or simply kinetic energy. The energy possessed by the body by virtue of its shape or position. Shape means, suppose if you take the spring, if you compress the spring or extend the spring, then the spring possesses some energy, that means because of shape or size of the body possesses some energy. Such energy is called the mechanical potential energy. Such energy is called mechanical potential energy. Okay, so here, so the energy possessed by the body because of its shape or size. In case of a spring, whenever it is compressed, size decreases. Whenever it is extended, okay, or stretched, size increases. So because of its change in shape or size, the spring possesses some energy. That is called the mechanical potential energy. Okay, similarly, the energy possessed by the body because of its position. For example, when a body is kept on the just surface of the earth, it does not possess any energy. Okay, suppose if the same body is kept at certain height, then when you release them, automatically it comes down, no? Because that body, because of its position, that means as the body is at certain height from the ground, the body possesses some energy. The body possesses some energy, gains some energy. That is called the potential energy, mechanical potential energy. So in order to give some potential energy to the water only, water tanks are constructed only at the top of the building or on the terrace, not on the ground. Because whenever the water is lifted, the tank is constructed at the top of the building, then as the tank is at certain height, whenever the tank is filled with water, that water gains some potential energy. The water possesses some potential energy. So when you open the tap, immediately the water from the tank comes out with certain velocity. Velocity means again the water gains some kinetic energy. Actually, the water does not gain any energy. Here, whenever the water comes out through the tap from the tank, as the water comes down here, it loses potential energy. That is converted into kinetic energy. That's why, in order to gain the potential energy, the water tanks are constructed only at the top of the building, not at the ground. Okay, here the tanks are so now what is the potential energy? How we can measure? Already mechanical kinetic energy or simply kinetic energy, how we can measure? Already we derived the formula for potential and kinetic energy also. We derived the formula for kinetic energy of a body. Okay, now what is the formula for potential energy of a body? So first one, kinetic energy, mechanical kinetic energy or simply kinetic energy. Already we derived the formula for kinetic energy also. So kinetic energy K is equal to, we can write half mv square, or that can also be written as, you see, half m mass into one velocity, mv into v. We can write mv means momentum into velocity. We can write like this. Or since momentum of the body, linear momentum of the body is equal to mass into velocity, instead of v you write p by m. So p by m whole square, p square by m square. M square cancel, so p square by m, 2 is there, so p square by 2m, p square by 2m. It is the formula for kinetic energy of a body or mechanical kinetic energy of a body. Okay, now mechanical potential energy or simply potential energy of a body. Potential energy, it is generally represented with U, potential energy of a body. Now suppose one body is on the surface of the earth. One body is on the surface of the earth. Their mass is say m. Then weight mg acts vertically downwards direction. Weight mg acts vertically downwards direction. one block or a body of mass m is kept on the surface of the earth. Okay, now the weight of the body always acts vertically downwards direction. Suppose in order to move the body in vertically upward direction, in order to move the body along vertically upward direction, what is the minimum force required? What is the minimum force required to move the body vertically upwards? To move the body vertically upwards, Vamshi Krishna, kinetic energy is equal to p square by 2m, not p square into p square. Here, instead of velocity, from this formula, linear momentum is equal to mass into velocity, no? So velocity is equal to momentum by m. So instead of velocity, you write momentum p by m. Square is there, p square by m square. M square cancel. That's why p square by 2 into m is there. That's why p square by 2m. Vamshi Krishna. Okay. Already I said previous just now. You listen carefully. Right. Here, one body of mass m is kept over the surface of the earth. Then the weight of the body is mg, no? Now, in order to lift the body upwards, what is the minimum force required? In order to move the weight of the body. Very good, Madhur. So, in order to move the body upwards, the minimum force required is equal to weight. With this force, suppose the body is slowly lifted up to a height, say h. Here the body is slowly lifted up to a height h. So here, from the bottom of the surface, the body is lifted to a height, say small h. Here the height up to which the body is lifted is very small compared with the size of the body or compared with the radius of the earth also. Here, radius of the earth is very large, 6,400 kilometer. When compared with this one, that radius of the earth, the height up to which the body is lifted, that is very, very small. That h value is approximately 100 meter, 200 meter, 300 meter, like that. But whereas the radius of the earth is very, very large, 6,400 kilometer. That means this distance is very small. No? In such case only we are discussing here. Whenever the height up to which the body is lifted is comparable with the radius of the earth, such case we can discuss in another chapter, gravitation. Okay. So here the height up to which the body lifted is equal to h. Now what is the work done by this applied force on a body to lift the body through a height h? Work done by applied force on a body to lift the body through a height equal to h or through a displacement equal to h is equal to how much? General formula is force into displacement into cos theta. F means force applied is equal to mg into displacement is h into cos. Force applied is upwards and displacement also upwards. That's why cos 0. Therefore, this is equal to mgh only, no? Okay. So, the work done by the applied force on a body in lifting the body through a height h against the gravity. You see, by applying this force, we lifted the body up to certain height against the gravitational force. Gravitational force acts in vertically downwards direction, but the body is lifted in upward direction by applying some force slowly up to a height h. Then work done by external force on a body in lifting the body through certain height against the gravity is stored in the body as the potential energy or gravitational potential energy. So here this is equal to potential energy gained by the body. Actually, whenever the body is on the surface of the earth, it is the reference line. Surface of the earth is the reference line. On the reference line, the potential energy is, you imagine, that is 0. Okay. Then whenever it is at this height, the final potential energy is equal to, here whenever the body is lifted through a height h, then work done by this applied force on a body against the gravity is equal to mg into h, no? This is the final potential energy of the body, or it is the gain in potential energy of a body, because initial potential energy is this one. Final potential energy is here whenever the body is at a height h. Then what is the gain in potential energy? Gain in potential energy is equal to work done by the body, work done on the body by the applied force against the gravity. That is equal to mgh. This is the gain in potential energy. Or it is gain in potential energy means mgh minus initial potential energy is 0. That's why this is equal to potential energy at this point. Actually, this is the gain in potential energy, delta U. So therefore, mgh is equal to U, delta U means final potential energy minus initial potential energy. The potential energy on the surface of the earth is considered as 0 because it is taken as the reference line. From this, as the height is 0, now in order to keep the body here, no work is done. That's why potential energy gained is 0. Whenever the body is lifted to a height h, then potential energy, the work done by the applied force against the gravity is equal to mgh, which is equal to final potential energy minus initial. So final potential energy minus initial potential energy is 0 is equal to mgh. Therefore, potential energy is equal to mg into h. This is the formula for potential energy. So when a body is at a height h from the ground, what is the potential energy of a body? Means mgh is the potential energy of a body. mgh is the potential energy of a body. So potential energy depends on height. Height means position. Already I said the energy possessed by the body by virtue of its position or because of its position, that is called potential energy. That is called potential energy. As the body is at certain height from the ground, the body possesses some energy due to its height or due to its position. Such energy is called the potential energy. That's why when a body of mass m is at a height h, then what is the potential energy gained by the body, or what is the potential energy of the body? That is equal to mgh. It is the case whenever the potential energy on the surface of the earth is considered as 0. That means by taking the potential energy on the surface of the earth is 0, what is the potential energy gained by the body? Means that is equal to final potential energy only. It depends on the height and the mass. When height is more, potential energy is also more. So because of this reason, water tanks are constructed over the surface of the over the top of the building only. Because whenever water tank is at certain height, whenever the water is filled in the tank, the water gains the potential energy. When you open the tap, then the water comes down, so that potential energy is lost, and the loss of potential energy is converted into kinetic energy, and the water comes out through the taps with the kinetic energy. That is the reason. Okay. So here, so this is the formula for potential energy. Now note point. First one, here work done by external force on the body is equal to work done by external force on the body is equal to change in kinetic energy, change in potential energy. That is equal to final potential energy minus initial potential energy. Because work done by external force on the body is equal to this only, no? That is equal to change in potential energy, no? So change in potential energy means final potential energy minus initial potential energy. Okay, this is equal to, therefore, work done by external agency means that is equal to F into S, we can write now. F into H, we can write. Okay, work done. What is the work done by gravity in this case? What is the work done by gravity? Work done by gravity means, you see, whenever the body is moving upwards, then work done by gravity is negative, no? Because weight mg acts downwards direction, whereas the displacement is in upward direction. Displacement is in upward direction. That's why work done by gravity. Work done by gravity. That is the work done by gravity. Done by gravity. Okay. Here, what is the net work done in this case? Net work done. You see, net work done means whenever the body is lifted upwards, the work done by applied force is equal to W, or work done by external force is equal to W, plus work done by gravity is plus WG. It is the net work done. It is the net work done. Work done by external force is equal to how much? mgh. Already we calculated. Work done by external force on the body in lifting it through a height h is equal to mgh. What is the work done by gravity? Whenever the body is lifting upwards through a height h, the gravitational force acts downwards and the displacement of the body is in upward direction. So what is the work done means mg fs cos theta. F means mg into s means h into cos theta means theta is the angle between gravitational force and the displacement. That is 180. Cos 180 minus 1. That's why work done by gravity is equal to minus mg into h. That is equal to 0. That's why in this case, net work done is equal to 0. So whenever the body is displaced to a height h, then what is the net work done on the body means that is equal to 0. In this case, here this net work done is 0 now. Therefore, this is equal to 0. Therefore, work done by gravity is equal to minus work done by external agency. That is equal to minus work done by external agency means we can write work done by external agency is equal to mgh, no? That's why we can write mgh also here, minus mgh, minus mgh. Okay, therefore from this is equal to minus mg means gravitational force. Mg means gravitational force. It is the work done by gravity. It is the work done by gravity. Minus Fg into H we can write. So work done by gravity is equal to minus Fg into H, or minus Fg is equal to work done by gravity by H we can write, or implies work done by gravity is equal to minus work force acts on force due to here force acts on the body due to gravity is equal to minus Wg by H. So force due to gravity acts on the body is equal to, what about work done by gravity? What is the formula for work done by gravity in general? Here you see Wg, work done by gravity is equal to, we can write minus external work done, no? We can write minus external work done. That's why work done by force acts on the body due to gravity is equal to, we can write like this. This is enough. So Fg is equal to minus work done by gravity. You see, work done by gravity is equal to here minus external work done. Work done by here, work done by gravity is called minus external work done by H. That is equal to external work done delta U. Force of gravity is equal to minus plus external work done. Plus external work done means that is equal to delta U, no? Work done by external force is equal to delta U. So delta U by H. Delta U by H. Here we can write like this, no? Here work done by gravity is negative. So here we always get, okay, I will explain. Here, whenever the body is displaced up to a height h, then net work done by gravity. Here not here. Work done by gravity is equal to, here you see, work done by gravity is equal to minus mgh, no? Work done by gravity is equal to minus mgh. 1 minute. One minute. Okay. So here you see, work done by external energy is equal to change in potential energy, that is equal to UV minus UI. Initial potential energy UI. Okay, work done by gravity is equal to how much? Work done by gravity is equal to minus of this one, no? Because work done by gravity is equal to minus mgh. That means minus of mgh means delta U. Mgh means delta U. Here, suppose when the body is displaced through a distance, when a body is displaced through a distance delta Y in upward direction, and gravitational force acts on the bodies in vertically downwards direction. Okay, then work done by, here it is a work done by gravity. So work done by gravity is equal to Fg into delta Y. That is equal to minus delta U. Or Fg is equal to, we can write delta minus delta U by delta Y. Here you see, work done by gravitational force on a body is equal to Fg into displacement of the body. Okay, actually it is negative work done, no? So work done by gravity is equal to minus this one. Therefore force acts on a body due to gravity, that is equal to weight. So that gravitational force is equal to minus delta, here minus minus cancel, delta u by delta y. Here Fz is equal to, what about delta u? What about delta u? Delta u means mgh, no? That means final potential energy minus initial potential energy by delta y. So this is the formula for gravitational force. But here, you see, work done by gravity is negative. In this case, we can write like this. Gravitational force into displacement delta x is equal to, you write minus delta u, or gravitational force acts on a body is equal to minus delta u by delta x, or we can write gravitational force acts on a body is equal to minus du by dx. Whenever the displacement of the body is very small, then we can write, whenever the displacement of the body is very small, then we can write dx, displacement is dx, we can write. That's why change in potential energy is also very small. Then Fz is equal to minus du by dx. Here minus du means final potential energy minus initial potential energy. Final potential energy minus initial potential energy. Okay. So minus du by dx is the gravitational force acts on a body. This is called, gravitational force acts on a body is the negative gradient of this du by dx. That means variation of potential energy with respect to distance. That is called gradient of potential energy. So negative gradient of potential energy is the gravitational force acts on a body. Negative gradient of potential energy is called the gravitational force acts on a body. So Fz is equal to minus du by dx. Okay. Because from this formula, actually du is equal to mgh, no? Then Fz into dx is equal to minus mgh, no? Here du means final potential energy minus initial potential energy. Final potential energy is generally here mgh. Initial potential energy is equal to 0. That's why minus mgh by distance traveled is equal to h. Distance traveled is equal to h. Okay, therefore Fg into h must be equal to negative potential, negative work done, no? Fg into this distance must be equal to negative potential. Negative potential means when you write here final potential energy minus initial potential energy, final potential energy means mgh minus initial potential energy is 0. Then minus mgh you will get. That means to obtain the gravitational force on a body, we have to take negative gradient of potential energy. It is very, very important formula. Negative gradient of potential energy is the gravitational force acts on a body. Okay, so what is the potential energy means? This is the potential energy. Potential energy is directly proportional to height up to which the body is lifted. Okay, next in this case, first one, external work done is equal to change in potential energy. That means final potential energy minus initial potential energy. Work done by gravity means minus delta u. Minus delta u means minus of final potential energy minus initial potential energy. That is equal to ui minus uf, you will get, no? So work done by gravity is equal to ui minus uf. Because whenever the body is displaced in upward direction, work done by gravity is negative. That's why you substitute here ui is 0, because it is the initial potential energy on the ground, and uf is mgh. That's why minus mgh. Therefore work done by gravity is minus mgh only, no? Whenever the body is displaced through a height h, then what is the work done by gravity means? That is minus mgh, because mg downwards and displacement h upwards. That's why work done by gravity is minus mgh. That's why if you write like this, then 0 minus mgh, that is the work done by gravity. 0 minus mgh, that gives the work done by gravity. That's why work done by gravity, Fg into displacement in general, work done by gravity into displacement of the body is equal to minus into change in potential energy, or Fg is equal to minus delta u by delta x. Or whenever the displacement is very small in upward direction, then change in potential energy is also very small. That's why you can write du by dx. It is called negative gradient of potential energy. Therefore Fz is equal to minus of negative gradient of potential energy. That means negative gradient of this du by dx is gradient of potential energy with respect to distance. Minus is there. That's why negative gradient of potential energy. Negative gradient of potential energy. Okay. Now Okay. So here, so the gravitational force acts on a body is equal to negative gradient of potential energy. This point is very, very important. Next, what is the work done by gravity in displacing the body vertically upwards and then back to the initial position? Here, what is the work done by the body in displacing the body vertically upwards and moving back to the initial position? What is the net work done by gravity? Net work done by gravity. Here, while moving upwards, the work done by gravity is say W1, while moving downwards, it is say W2. Net work done by gravity is equal to W1 plus W2. Okay, suppose the height up to the body lifted is say H. Then now you tell me work done by gravity in moving the body along the closed path. You see, when the body is displaced vertically upwards and then back to the initial point means the body is moving along the closed path, no? So work done by gravity in moving the body along the closed path. Work by gravity to move along closed path. Very, very important point for objective. So work done by gravity in moving the body along the closed path is how much? So work done by gravity in moving the body along the closed path means suppose the body is displaced up to a height h, then back to the ground, back to the initial point. Then the body is moving along the closed path now. In this case, what is the net work done by gravity? So when the body moving upwards through a height h, then what is the work done by gravity? Yeah, when the body is moving upwards here, gravitational force acts in downwards direction and the displacement of the body is in upward direction. That's why work done by gravity is minus mg into h. Already I said, plus work done by gravity in coming down from the highest point to the ground is equal to weight mg downwards and the displacement of the body also downwards. That's why positive work is done. That is equal to 0. So here, work done by gravity in moving the body along the closed path. Along the closed path means along vertical upward direction, then back downwards direction back to initial point. So when you move the body along the closed path, then what is the work done by the gravitational force? That is equal to 0. The force due to which the work done by the body in moving the body along the closed path is equal to 0. Such type of force is called the conservative force. That's why gravitational force is the conservative force. Therefore, gravitational force F is equal to mg. Gravitational force or weight. Gravitational force. Gravitational force is the conservative force. Conservative force. The force due to which the work done on the body in moving the body along the closed path is 0. Such force is called the conservative force. Therefore, conservative force. Conservative force. So, the force due to which work done on a body in moving along a closed path is 0 is called conservative force. Is called conservative force. So what is the example for conservative force? What is the example for conservative force? The work done, the force due to which the work done on a body in moving the body along the closed path is 0 is called conservative force. So what is the example for conservative force? Very good. Madhur, gravitational force. So example we can write gravitational force. Gravitational force is the conservative force. Next, anybody else? Gravitational force. Next, anybody else? force due to electric field or electric force, spring force, because whenever the spring is compressed or extended, then spring force is developed. That spring force is also the conservative force. Spring force, magnetic force, all these are the conservative forces. Okay, so in case of conservative force, what is the work done by the conservative force on a body in moving the body along the closed path? What is the work done by the conservative force on a body in moving the body along the closed path? Zero. Madhur, what is your doubt? Okay, it's zero. Right. Here, the work done by the conservative force on a body along the closed path, of course, we got zero. Here, the work done by the conservative force on any body does not depends on the path followed by the body. Here, note point. The work done by the conservative force on a body does not depends on the path followed. What is the initial point? What is the final point? In between these two only, suppose here you see, suppose when a body is displaced against the gravity along this path or along this path, it is the first path, it is the second path, say, then what is the work done by gravity? Here it is the initial point, it is the final point. The height up to which the body displaced is small h. Then work done by gravity is equal to, what is the formula? Tell me. Mass of the body is m, then weight mg acts vertically downwards direction. Now what is the work done by gravity in displacing the body along the first path? Tell me. What? Okay, Madhur, I will unmute you. You ask me doubts, your doubts. Madhur. Madhur, you speak with me now.
Sir, you told me, sir, if negative work means we should not write minus symbol.
Negative work?
Negative work, if answer came means we should write negative work. The positive number only we should write, you told me, sir.
Here, this one?
No, sir. Before you wrote minus of negative gradient, sir.
Yeah. Here, 1 minute, you see. Gravitational force acts on a body is equal to minus du by dx or delta u by delta x, I wrote. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Minus delta u, actually, minus delta u, actually, here you see, work done by the gravitational force on a body in moving the body in upward direction. Fg into delta x is equal to minus delta u. Why we have written minus means minus uf minus ui, no? General formula.
Yes,
change
sir.
in potential energy means final potential energy minus initial potential energy. What is the initial potential energy?
Zero.
Zero, because on the surface of the earth, the potential energy of the body is considered as zero. That is the reference point. That's why that is zero. Then when you write mgh here, minus mgh is the negative work done, no?
Yes, sir.
Work done by gravity in lifting the body upwards through a distance delta x is negative work. That's why minus I have written like this.
Yes,
Okay?
sir, but you wrote minus negative gradient, sir. That's why.
Yeah, this is equal to Fg is equal to minus delta u by delta x. That means gravitational force acts on a body is the negative gradient of potential energy.
Okay, sir.
Negative, already I wrote that only, I think. Gravitational
Sir,
force.
You wrote minus negative gradient, sir. That's why I'm asking.
No, not minus negative gradient. Negative gradient of potential energy.
Okay, sir.
Okay, minus of it is actually, this is the gradient of potential energy. Here this can be written as du by minus du by dx also. Here du by dx means that is the rate of change, the change of potential energy with respect to distance. That is called the gradient of potential energy. Minus is there. That's why negative gradient of potential energy is the gravitational force acts on a body. Not only gravitational force, any conservative force. The conservative force acts on a body is the negative gradient of potential energy. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Right. So what is Likith? What is your problem? What is Likith? What is your problem? Likith. I meet of you, you ask me. Likith, you speak now. Likith. Likith, you respond immediately. Likith, are you able to hear or not? I muted off, you speak with me. I muted off you. You can speak with me directly in live. Likith. Okay. Right. Even Likith, you are speaking. I am okay. Again, I will unmute you. You speak with me. Okay. Likith, you speak.
In that last note point.
In last note point.
Question, no, sir.
Okay.
Not this one, sir. Left side of the board. Just know
okay.
what you have done.
Here?
No, sir. That side.
Previously.
Conservation of
conservative force.
Last note you written, no, sir.
Yeah.
There, path 1 and path 2, you have asked some question.
Yeah. Along path 1, when the body. Okay, you listen. Along the path 1, when the body is displaced along straight line vertically upwards through a distance h, what is the work done by gravity?
Minus mgh, sir.
Minus mgh. Okay. So minus mgh. That is the work done by gravity. Even you lift the body along the curved path also. Even you lift the body along the curved path also, the work done by gravity is equal to minus mgh only, because the gravitational force is the conservative force. The work done by the conservative force depends on the initial position of the body, final position of the body, but it does not depend on the path followed. That means along which path the body is displaced. The work done by that conservative force does not depend on the path followed. Okay, even you lift the body from this point to this point along straight line or along the curved path also, there is no change in the work done. That is minus mgh only in this case. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So from this it is clear that the work done by conservative force on a body does not depend on the path followed. So here work done by gravity is equal to work done by the body along the first path or along the second path, that is equal to minus mgh only. That means it depends on the initial position and final position only. That is very, very important. Therefore, work done by gravity, work done by conservative force, work done by conservative force does not depends on path followed. Does not depends on path followed. It depends on initial and final position of body. Initial and final position of the body. Okay, it is the note 1. Next, second one, work done by conservative force on a body. Work done by conservative force on a body along the closed path. How we can represent in integral form? Work done by conservative force on a body in moving along closed path. Conservative force. So work done by conservative force on a body in moving along the closed path. That is equal to 0, no? Already in the definition only it is there. The work done by conservative force on a body in moving along the closed path is 0. Such type of force is called conservative force. Already I said. That's why work done by the conservative force on a body in moving along the closed path is equal to 0. Here actually work done by the conservative force on a body in displacing it through a small distance is F into dx. In moving work done by the conservative force on a body in moving along the closed path, that can be represented as closed integral of F into dx. Closed integral of the symbol is this one. It is also called as the line integral or closed integral of. Circle represents integral with circle represents closed integral. So closed integral of F into dx means it is the work done in moving the body along the closed path by the applied force. Such force is the conservative force. Already as we know, the work done by the conservative force on a body in moving the body along the closed path is 0, no? That's why this is equal to how much? This is equal to, what is the value? This is equal to 0. So here, in case of conservative force, line integral of force along the path or line integral of work done in displacing the body through a small distance along the closed path is equal to 0. So work done by conservative force on a body in moving along the closed path is equal to 0. Next, side heading, non-conservative force. Non-conservative force. The force due to which the work done on a body in moving along the closed path is not equal to 0. Such force is called non-conservative force. The force due to which work done in moving a body the force due to which the work done in moving a body along closed path is not equal to 0 is called non-conservative force. Can anybody say example for non-conservative force? Can anybody say? Yeah, very good. Frictional force. Here you see example. Frictional force. Best example, frictional force. Frictional force. Viscous force also we can write. Viscous drag or viscous force. Viscous drag or viscous force means, here you see, whenever the boat is moving over the surface of the water, in between the water and the boat, the force between the water and boat opposes the relative motion of the boat from on the surface of the water. That is the frictional force due to water. That is called the viscous force. Similarly, when on the vehicle, whenever we are moving on the road with more speed, then air drags our surface in backward direction. That means the air opposes the motion of our body by dragging in backward direction. Such air drag or friction due to air acts on our body to oppose our motion. That is also called as the viscous force. That's why best example for non-conservative force are frictional force, viscous force. Here you see, suppose a body is moving from point A to point B by non-conservative force like frictional force through a distance. Yes, what is the work done? In this case, what is the work done? Work done in moving the body from A to B by non-conservative force, that is WAB. And in moving the body from B to A by the same non-conservative force through the same distance, yes, the work done is equal to WBA. So net work done in moving the body, net work done by the non-conservative force in moving the body from A to B and then back to A. That is the work done by non-conservative force in moving the body along the closed path. Work done in moving along the closed path is equal to WAB plus WBA. What is WAB? Work done by here already the body is moved along the straight path. That's why work done by this non-conservative force means frictional force in moving the body along this closed path is equal to, whenever the displacement is in this direction, then force acts on the frictional force acts on the body in opposite direction. No? That's why work done is minus Fs plus here in moving the body in this direction, displacement S is in this direction, whereas friction is in opposite direction. That's why here also minus work is done, minus Fs. Therefore minus 2Fs. It is the work done by the non-conservative force on a body in moving along the closed path. That's why it is not equal to 0. Yeah, I will upload you in YouTube now, Deepak. Okay, you can take screenshot. You take the screenshot. I will upload in YouTube so that you can see. Normal force means, what is the normal force? Amritesh, what is normal force? There are different cases are there, no? Normal reaction, normal force. Every component of the force, if it is normal to the surface, that is also a conservative force only. Okay, I will upload, no problem. So this is the non-conservative force. Therefore, in case of non-conservative force, the work done by the body by non-conservative force in moving the body along the closed path means F into ds or dx. That is equal to, here we can write in general, ds also we can write ds in general, not along particularly x-axis. Okay, you can write in general. So work done by the non-conservative force on a body, work done by the conservative force on a body in moving along the closed path is equal to F into ds, line integral F into ds, that is equal to 0. But work done by non-conservative force on a body in moving the body along the closed path is line integral of F into ds, that is not equal to 0. This is very, very important point. In case of conservative force, this is the condition. In case of non-conservative force, this is the condition. Okay. So these are the conservative and non-conservative forces. Now, law of conservation of energy. Law of conservation of energy. Very, very important. For IP point of view, it is the essay question also. Simple, very, very important. Okay. Now, law of conservation of energy. Law of conservation of mechanical energy or simply energy. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. If any work is done by the conservative force, if any work is done by the conservative force, one form of energy will be converted into another form, but there is no loss of energy. If work is done by the non-conservative force like frictional force, some energy is lost. Some energy is lost. But if work is done by the non-conservative force, then the total energy of the body does not change. But one form of energy will be converted into another form. So energy can neither be created nor destroyed. One form will be converted into another form. That is the law of conservation of energy statement. So law of conservation of energy means energy can neither be created nor destroyed. One form of energy will be converted into another form. AW, explain the situation of the viscous force. Okay, here best example, on the surface of the water, on the surface of the water, suppose air is not there. On the surface of the water, suppose the ship travel with certain velocity. At that time you stop the engine. Is the ship continuously travel with the same velocity forever? AWAK, you respond. AWAK, you respond. Okay, I will meet off you. AWAK, you respond. Okay, AWAK, you respond. What is your name?
Karthik, sir.
Karthik, you put you just you change your name. AWAK means how I can call you. Okay, now
Yes, sir.
you tell me, on the surface of the water, suppose air resistance is not there. Air is not there on the surface of the water in a lake. Okay, suppose the ship is moving with a velocity v. At that time the engine is stopped. Will the ship continuously travel with the same speed in forward direction, or it comes to rest after travel some distance?
It comes to rest, sir.
Why? Who applied the force? No brake force are applied. Okay, air resistance, air force is not there. How it comes to rest? While moving in forward direction, the water surface is in contact with the bottom of the ship now.
Yes, sir.
The layer of the water in contact with the bottom of the ship, moving along with the ship in forward direction. At the same time, that water layer in contact with the ship and the another layer in between those two liquid layers. Here the upper layer, which is upper layer of the water in contact with the ship, move along with the ship in forward direction, and the lower layer opposes the motion of the upper layer of the water in forward direction. Such force exerted by one layer of the water on the other layer, that is called viscous force. So because of viscous force, the velocity of the ship gradually decreases, and after it travels some distance, it comes to rest. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's why such type of force is the viscous force. Viscous force is also the best example for the non-conservative force. Frictional force is also non-conservative force. If energy is lost by this non-conservative force, that cannot be recovered back. For example, on the surface of the ground, a body is kept. On the surface of the ground, a body is kept, and it is projected with a velocity, say u. After it travel through some distance, this velocity becomes zero. That means because frictional force acts on the body opposite to their motion, that's why its velocity goes on decrease, and after travel some distance, it comes to rest. Initially it is having some kinetic energy half m square. Finally its kinetic energy becomes zero. That means energy is lost. Can we recollect that energy? Can we regain that energy back by friction?
No.
We cannot get.
No,
That friction is the non-conservative force. That's why the energy lost because of the work done by the non-conservative force cannot be recovered back. Okay. So what is Madhur? What is Madhur? Madhur Mehta. Madhur Mehta.
I am answering to your question, sir.
Achha,
The
okay,
energy cannot be
you cannot recollect. Okay.
Yes,
The
sir.
work done by friction, because of work done by the friction on a body, kinetic energy is lost here. Because work
Yes,
done
sir.
by the friction is negative, that's why kinetic energy is lost and finally comes to rest. This loss of kinetic energy cannot be recovered back by applying friction. By applying friction here,
Sir.
we cannot gain the kinetic energy. That's why because of work done by the friction on a body, some energy is lost. That energy cannot be regained back. But whereas in case
Yes,
of
sir.
conservative force, when the body moving upwards, work done by gravitational force is negative.
Okay, sir.
Suppose a body is thrown vertically upwards with certain velocity. So initially it is having some kinetic energy, but as long as the body moving upwards, its velocity gradually decreases, no? Because work done by gravity is negative. That's why the kinetic energy of the body goes on decrease, and after reaches some height, the kinetic energy becomes zero. That means kinetic energy is
Yes,
lost.
sir.
But by the gravity only, why the body comes down and before reaches the ground, again it regains their kinetic energy back.
Yes.
Because that
Sir,
gravitational force is the conservative force.
Yes,
So
sir.
due to conservative force, whatever the energy lost, that can be recovered back. But whereas the by means of the frictional force, whatever the energy lost, that cannot be recovered back. That is the difference between conservative force and non-conservative force. Okay.
Sir, viscous force can be defined as friction due to liquid, sir.
Yeah, due to liquid or due to fluid, because due to air is also, due to air or gas also friction is there, no? That is also called as the viscous force only. So in
Okay,
general,
sir.
the friction force due to fluid means the substance which can flow, that is called fluid, no? That is
Yes,
fluid
sir.
means we can take gas, air or liquid also. Okay, that is
Okay,
the
sir.
viscous force, right? Right. Now, law of conservation of energy, we have to we are going to prove this law of conservation of energy. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but one form of energy can be converted into another form. So energy can neither be created energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but one form of energy can neither be created or nor destroyed, but one form of energy will be converted into another form. One will be converted into another form. So energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but one form of energy will be converted into another form. It is called the law of conservation of energy. So here another form. Okay. So here one example we have to discuss. In case of a freely falling body, is it obeys law of conservation of energy or not? In case of freely falling body, okay, suppose here one body is dropped from certain height. Here it is the ground. Okay, one body is dropped from a height h. Here the mass of the body is m. Initially the body is at a. While coming down, already we know its velocity goes on increase, no? Initially, whenever the body is dropped from a point A, initial velocity is 0. At this point, initial velocity is 0. While coming down, whenever it reaches the point B in their path, its velocity is say v1. Before reaches the ground, its velocity v2 is equal to say v. Okay, it is the point C before here the point to which the body reaches on the ground is say C. So here a body of mass m is dropped from a height h. At the instant whenever it is dropped, its velocity is 0. But as the gravitational force acts on the body goes on the body while coming down, its velocity goes on increase. And whenever it reaches the point B in their path, its velocity becomes say v1. And before reaches the ground at C, the velocity of the body becomes say v. Then what is the total energy at this point? Because here work is done by the gravitational force, no? Because whenever the body is released, how the body comes down? Because gravitational force of attraction pulls the body downwards. That's why work is done by the gravitational force, which is the conservative. That's why because of work done by the conservative force on a body, the energy will not change. Energy does not change. Total energy remains constant, but one form of energy will be converted into another form. But if the work is done by the non-conservative force, energy is lost. Energy is not conserved there. Here work is done by the gravitational force, no? Here work is done by the gravitational force. That's why the total energy does not alter. I think you understand the difference between conservative work done by the conservative force and the non-conservative force. So here, in case of a freely falling body, energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but one form of energy will be converted into another form due to conservative force. Due to conservative force, we can write. Okay, now in case of a freely falling body, even work is done by the gravitational force, which is the conservative force. The total energy does not alter, but one form of energy will be converted into another form. Okay. Okay, quantum mechanics is different case. Here in case of other body, that means micro level. When you discuss the micro level, there is energy is created. Here it is the macroscopic body. Micro is different from macro. Okay. So here, whenever the body is released from a height h, work is done by the gravitational force, which is the conservative. Because of conservative force, we can neither be created nor destroyed. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed due to the work done due to conservative force. Here, whenever the body comes down here, work is done by the gravitational force, which is the conservative. But because of work done by the conservative force on a body, the total energy does not change. Energy is not created, but one form will be converted into another form. Is it correct or not? We have to prove. Okay, even the work is done by the gravity on the body while coming down. We have to show that the total energy at any point remains constant. That means energy is not destroyed or energy is not created. Even the body comes down due to work done by gravity. Then if we show the total energy at every point remains same, then we can say energy is conserved. Okay. Here, whenever the body is at A, whenever the body is at A, what is the kinetic energy of a body? Kinetic energy of a body is, as the velocity is 0, kinetic energy is 0. Potential energy of the body. Here, as the body is at a height h, the potential energy of the body is equal to mgh, no? Therefore, total energy of a body at A is equal to potential energy plus kinetic energy. The sum of these two energies. Because whenever the body is at certain height, the body is having potential energy because of its position. At the same time, if the body is having velocity, then it is having kinetic energy. The sum of these two energies is the total mechanical energy of your body. Okay. Therefore, at the point A, the total mechanical energy is equal to potential energy plus kinetic energy. Potential energy is mgh plus kinetic energy is 0. That's why total energy is equal to mgh only, no? Kinetic energy is 0 means because half m into u square, that is equal to 0, since u is equal to 0 at A. Next, here whenever the body reaches the point B, that means at B, whenever the body comes down here, suppose the body comes down through a distance say y before it reaches the point B, then at B, as the whenever the body lies at B, what is the potential energy of the body? The height of the body when it lies at B is equal to h minus y, no? Therefore, potential energy of the body at B is equal to mg into height of the body from the ground. Whenever the body, okay, whenever the body reaches the point B, what is the potential energy means? Mg into, when body lies at B, what is the height of the body at B from the ground? That means that is equal to h minus y. That's why potential energy of the body is equal to h minus y, not mg into y. Mg into h minus y. Because potential energy depends on the height at which the body lies. So mg into height of the body when it lies at B is equal to h minus y. That's why h minus y. This is equal to, we can write mgh minus mg into y. Next, what about the kinetic energy? Whenever the body lies at B, kinetic energy of the body is equal to, as the velocity is v1, kinetic energy of the body is equal to half mv1 square, no? Okay, therefore total energy means sum of these two. That is the total energy of the body. But what is the velocity? Here you see, when motion is considered from A to B, initial velocity is 0. Whenever the motion is considered from A to B, initial velocity is 0. Okay, acceleration. As the body is dropped freely, Because of gravity, it comes down. That's why acceleration is equal to plus z. And displacement s is equal to, whenever the body travels from A to B, the displacement of the body is equal to y. And velocity acquired, v is equal to v1. That is question mark. Because at this point, velocity is imagined as v1. No? So what is the relation among them? From v square minus u square is equal to 2as. V square means v1 square minus u0, 2, a means z, s means y. Therefore, v1 square is equal to 2z into y. Now we substitute this in this formula. Therefore, kinetic energy k is equal to half m into v1 square. That is equal to half m into v1 square means 2z into y. 2 cancel. That is equal to mz into y. Therefore, total energy at B, EB is equal to potential energy plus kinetic energy. Potential energy is equal to mgh minus mzy plus kinetic energy is equal to mgy. mgy cancel. That is equal to mgh. Therefore, total energy of the body at B is equal to mgh only, no? So when the body lies at A, total energy is mgh. When the body lies at B, total energy is equal to mgh. Okay, when body lies at C, that means before reaches the ground, at C. When the body is at C, you see, potential energy is equal to 0, no? Because whenever the before reaches the ground at this point, the height of the body from the ground is 0. That's why potential energy is 0. Kinetic energy is equal to half m into velocity of the body before reaches the point C is equal to we imagined as v. That's why v square. It is the kinetic energy. Therefore, total energy means this plus this half m, that is equal to half m square. Is it equal to this one or not? We doesn't know. That's why we have to change this velocity v in terms of h. So you see, when you consider the motion from A to C, initial velocity is equal to 0, acceleration plus z, and displacement is equal to h. Whenever the body travels from A to C, displacement of the body is equal to h, no? Therefore, velocity at C is equal to how much? Velocity acquired before it reaches the point C is equal to v, that is question mark. Therefore, from v square minus u square is equal to 2as implies v means v only, u means 0, 2, a means z, s means h. So v square is equal to 2gh. Therefore, kinetic energy is equal to half m into v square means 2gh. 2 to cancel. That is equal to mgh. Therefore, total energy at C is equal to potential energy plus kinetic energy. Potential energy is 0 plus kinetic energy is mgh. Therefore, total energy at C is equal to mg into h, no? So here, in case of a freely falling body, as long as the body is coming down, the work is done by the gravity. But at any point, the total energy remains same, no? At A, total energy is mgh. At B, total energy is mgh. At C, total energy is mgh. That means total energy does not change. As the total energy does not change, energy is not created, energy is not destroyed. Even the body is coming down by the gravitational force. But one form of energy will be converted into another form, because whenever the body is at this height, it is having potential energy only, kinetic energy is 0. But before it reaches the ground, potential energy is 0, but kinetic energy is maximum. Because before it reaches the ground, the velocity acquired by the body is maximum, no? That's why kinetic energy is maximum. So here potential energy is converted into kinetic energy, but total energy does not change. So it is proved here. This explanation proves the law of conservation of energy, you know. So in this way, we can prove the law of conservation of energy. It is very, very important. In IP point of view, they asked for 8 marks. In IP point of view, they asked for 8 marks. State and prove law of conservation of energy in case of a freely falling body. That means you have to write this statement and we have to prove in case of a freely falling body. Similarly, in case of a vertically projected body, how we can prove the law of conservation of energy principle? Okay. Now, in case of vertically projected body, we have to prove. Okay, second one, law of conservation of energy in case of a vertically projected body. So we have to prove the law of conservation of energy in case of a vertically projected body. Suppose one body is projected vertically upwards. One body is projected vertically upwards from the point A with a velocity say u. While going upwards, the gravitational force acts on the body, pulls the body downwards. That's why work done by the gravitational force is negative on the body. Due to that, its velocity goes on decrease, and whenever it reaches the point B, its velocity becomes say v1, and whenever it reaches the highest point, its velocity becomes 0 at highest point. Okay, here before their vertical velocity becomes 0, before the velocity becomes 0 in vertical direction, the height up to which the body rises is say h, and before it reaches the point B, the height up to which the body rises is say y. Okay, now at A, what is the total energy of the body? So what is the potential energy when the body lies at A? Tell me. When the body lies at A, in case of vertically projected body, when the body lies at A, it is on the ground only, no? Then what is the potential energy? Mg into H. General formula is Mg into H. H is 0, no? That's why it is equal to 0. What is the kinetic energy? Half m into, from the point A, as the body is projected vertically upwards with a velocity u, then kinetic energy is half m square. Therefore, total energy at A, EA is equal to potential energy plus kinetic energy. Potential energy 0 plus kinetic energy is half m square. Therefore, total energy of the vertically projected body when it lies at A is half m into u square. It is the total energy of the body at A. Similarly, whenever the body lies at B, here you tell me, whenever the body lies at B, at what height the body lies? At a height y, already I said. Okay, so potential energy of the body is equal to mg into height at which the body lies when it lies at B. Height at which the body lies from the ground means y. That's why potential energy is equal to mgy. Kinetic energy is equal to half m into, when the body reaches the point B, its velocity becomes v1. That's why you write v1 square. Okay, now the total energy is equal to this plus this. Then that is not in this form. That's why we had to convert this v1 into in terms of u only. That's why when you consider the motion from A to B, initial velocity is u, acceleration is equal to minus 0. As the body is projected vertically upwards, because of gravity, its velocity goes on decrease. That's why in vertically upward direction, acceleration is minus z. Okay, next, displacement of the body. When it reaches the point B, the displacement of the body is equal to y. And velocity when reaches the point B, v is equal to v1. That is question mark. So what is the relation? From v square minus u square is equal to 2as. V square means v1 square minus u square, because u only know, and 2 into a means minus z, s means y. Therefore, v1 square is equal to u square minus 2zy. Now you substitute this value in equation for kinetic energy. Half m v1 square, that is equal to half m into v1 square means u square minus 2z into y. Therefore, you split them. Half mu square minus half m into 2zy. 2 cancel. So mzy. Therefore, kinetic energy is equal to this one. Therefore, total energy at B is equal to kinetic energy at B plus potential energy at B plus kinetic energy at B. Potential energy at B is mgy plus kinetic energy at B means this one. Half mu square minus mgy. Mgy cancel. Therefore, total energy at B is equal to half mu square. It is the total energy at B. Similarly, at C, that means before reaches the maximum height. Maximum height or highest point. Okay, now whenever the body lies at C, then potential energy is equal to mg into, when the body lies at C, Up to what height the body rises? H. That's why mg into h is the potential energy. Kinetic energy, half m into, whenever the body lies at c, velocity is 0. That's why kinetic energy is equal to 0. Of course, half mv square, that is equal to half m into 0. Actually, formula is half m into velocity at c square. That is equal to half m into 0. So 0. Therefore, total energy means kinetic energy plus potential energy. Okay, but is that mgh plus 0 is the total energy? Is it equal to the total energy at A and B? We cannot say directly. That's why we had changed this h in terms of u. So here, when the motion is considered from A to C, initial velocity is u. As the body is thrown vertically upwards, acceleration is minus z. Displacement of the body when it reaches the point C is equal to h, and final velocity is 0 when it reaches the point C. Therefore, what is the relation among them? From v square minus u square is equal to 2as. V means 0 minus u square. 2, a means minus z, s means h. Minus minus cancel. Therefore, h is equal to u square by 2z we can write now. Therefore, potential energy is equal to mg into h. That is equal to mg into h means u square by 2z. gz cancel. Therefore, u is equal to 1 by 2 into mu square now. Kinetic energy already we have 0. Therefore, total energy at C is EC. EC is equal to potential energy plus kinetic energy. Potential energy is we got half mu square plus kinetic energy means 0 we got. Therefore, total energy at C is equal to half mu square. So, in case of vertically projected body or in case of vertically thrown body, even work is done by the gravity against their motion. The total energy does not change because total energy at A, B, C all are equal. You see, total energy at A is half m square, total energy at B is half m square, total energy at C is half m square. That means whenever the body is thrown vertically upwards, the work is done by the gravity, which is the conservative force. So when work is done by the gravity, whenever the work is done by the conservative force, the energy, total energy cannot be created or destroyed according to law of conservation of energy. But one form will be converted into another form. Because you see, whenever the body goes upwards here, the kinetic energy gradually decreases, and whenever it reaches the point C, the total kinetic energy becomes 0 as velocity becomes 0, and the total energy becomes potential energy only because mgh plus 0, potential energy only. That's why whenever the body is thrown vertically upwards, the velocity of the body goes on decrease due to the kinetic energy decrease and potential energy increase. Okay, at highest point, the kinetic energy becomes 0 and only potential energy exists. So, in case of flying bird, as it is at certain height, it is having potential energy, and moreover, it is moving with certain velocity. That's why it is having kinetic energy also. Flying aeroplane is having both potential energy as well as kinetic energy. But in case of vertically projected body or freely falling body, okay, here whenever the body is thrown vertically upwards, the velocity of the body goes on decrease. That means kinetic energy decrease. But height of the body from the ground gradually increase. No, whenever height increase, potential energy is equal to mgh. That's why potential energy increase. No, Karthik. When the body is projected vertically upwards, while moving upwards, kinetic energy gradually decrease and potential energy increase. But at any point, the total energy means sum of kinetic energy and potential energy, that is equal to constant. Okay, Karthik, I will meet. Okay, right. In case of freely falling body, as long as the body comes down, the height decreases. That's why potential energy decreases. Whenever the body comes down like this, from the ground, the height of the body decreases. No, so potential energy decreases. But whenever the body comes down, its velocity goes on increase. That's why kinetic energy increases. So in case of a body coming down, the potential energy decreases and kinetic energy increases. But at every point, the total energy of the body remains constant. Already we proved just before. Okay. Hence, in case of freely falling body or vertically projected body, even work is done by the gravity, the total energy does not change. But as the gravitational force is the conservative force, work is done by the conservative force on a body in case of vertically projected body or freely falling body. That's why the total energy does not change in both the cases, but one form of energy will be converted into another form. Okay. So when the body travels from A to C, somebody asked me, Likit asked me, When the body travels from A to C, you see, from A to C, initial velocity at A is u, because we projected from this point. Whenever it reaches the point C, final velocity becomes 0. So up to what height the body rises? S is equal to h. Displacement is equal to h. And as the body is thrown vertically upwards here, acceleration is equal to minus z. Then we have substituted in this formula. Then we got h is equal to u square by 2z, if you simplify them. Then I have substituted this h value in this formula. U is equal to mg into h means u square by 2z. Mg into u square by 2z. Gz cancel, half mu square. Therefore, potential energy at the highest point is equal to half mu square. Okay, and kinetic energy at the highest point is 0. Therefore, total energy means u plus k. Yeah, statement is same for both. Okay, electrostatic force is also the conservative force. Madhur, already said the force due to electric field acts on the charged particle is the conservative force. Magnetic force is the conservative force. Spring force is the conservative force. Gravitational force is the conservative force, I said. Okay, Madhur, Karthik, Likith, I think you are clarified. Okay, so tomorrow, based on these concepts, we'll do some more problems. Okay, today, if remaining problems are there, any pending problems are there, you complete those pending problems. I will upload this concept in YouTube so that you can revise this also. Okay, right, Nana, thank you. I'm leaving, so I'm signing out. All of you, bye.